Most ketchup in America is not made from tomatoes. It is made from industrial tomato paste, boiled down, dehydrated, concentrated into a thick brown sludge, shipped to a factory, reconstituted with water, and then sweetened with high fructose corn syrup to make it taste like something. That is what is inside the bottle you have been squeezing for decades. Americans spend over $800 million on ketchup every year. The number one brand controls roughly 60% of the entire United States market. That is not dominance built on quality. That is dominance built on habit, on restaurant tables, on fast food counters, and on a label that says made from red ripe tomatoes, while describing a product that starts as industrial paste. Here is what I found. There are 5 brands sitting on grocery store shelves right now that you need to put back, and there are 4 that are actually worth your money. Some of them cheaper than the brands you have been buying your whole life. I spent 3 weeks auditing every ketchup brand on the shelf to find the truth, and the results were not what I expected. Here is how the industry gets away with it, and it starts with a federal regulation. The FDA's standard of identity for ketchup, 21 CFR 155.194, defines ketchup as a food prepared from tomato concentrate. That phrase sounds straightforward. It is not. Tomato concentrate is simply whole tomatoes that have been cooked down into paste, stripped of most of their water, and reduced to a shelf-stable sludge. To make ketchup, brands then add water back in. The law permits this entirely. The label can legally read tomato concentrate from red ripe tomatoes, and consumers assume whole tomatoes went into the bottle. They did not. Now here's the math. To make real ketchup, the kind you would make at home, you need approximately 3 pounds of fresh ripe tomatoes per bottle. Fresh tomatoes are seasonal. They bruise, they spoil. They require careful sourcing and an immediate processing. That costs money. Industrial tomato paste, on the other hand, is bought in bulk, stored for months, and costs a fraction of whole fruit. So corporations skip the tomatoes, buy the paste, dilute it back with water, and then face a second problem. Paste and water taste flat. It tastes processed. It needs to be sweetened. That is where high fructose corn syrup enters the picture. It is cheaper than cane sugar. It resists crystallization in acidic products, which means longer shelf life. And look, this is the part that matters most. It is engineered to deliver a faster, sweeter dopamine response than regular sugar. Your brain registers HFCS differently than cane sugar. It does not trigger the same satiety signals. You consume more, enjoy it more briefly, and reach for the bottle again faster. This is not flavor engineering. This is addiction engineering. And it has been sitting on your condiment shelf the entire time. The skip list, brand 1, Heinz Original, flip the bottle. The ingredient list reads tomato, concentrate from red ripe tomatoes, distilled vinegar, high fructose corn, syrup, corn syrup, salt, spice, onion powder, natural flavoring, 8 ingredients. 2 of them are corn-derived sweeteners listed under separate names. That is not an accident. Ingredients are listed in descending order by weight, by splitting one sweetener into 2 entries. They are high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup. Say each one appears further down the label, making the total corn sweetener load look smaller than it actually is. Add them together and the corn derivatives are likely the second largest ingredient in the bottle after the tomato concentrate itself. Here's the corporate history behind that choice. Heinz was once made with 4 simple ingredients, including cane sugar as the only sweetener. The switch to high fructose corn syrup was a margin decision. Corn was cheaper and HFCS performed better in an acidic, shelf-stable product. But here's the strategy that should genuinely offend you. By downgrading the original formula to HFCS, Kraft Heinz created a product window. They then launched Simply Heinz, which uses cane sugar, the original ingredient, net and priced it higher. They removed real sugar, then sold it back to you as a premium. Natural flavoring is the final insult. According to the Environmental Working Group, that term can legally mask 50 to 100 undisclosed chemical compounds. You have no idea what is in it. Brand 2, Hunt's Original. Hunt's tried to be better. That is the most damning part of the story. In 2010, Conagra, the parent company, launched a reformulated Hunt's with a clean label. Tomatoes, sugar, vinegar, salt, seasonings. No high fructose corn syrup, no artificial ingredients, no preservatives. 5 ingredients. They marketed it aggressively, attacking Heinz directly over the HFCS issue, and positioned themselves as the honest alternative. Then in 2012, they quietly switched back. Consumer demand at scale was not enough to justify the higher ingredient costs. The reformulated ketchup came back with high fructose corn syrup reinstated, and a label that looked almost identical to Heinz. Today, Hunt's standard ketchup is essentially a reformulation of the formula they once publicly criticized. The ingredient list reads tomato concentrate, high fructose corn syrup, distilled vinegar, corn syrup, salt, onion powder, natural flavors. They built 2 years of consumer trust and then sold it for a corn sweetener contract. Brand 3, Del Monte. Del Monte built its brand on a century of canned fruits and vegetables. Whole, recognizable food. The name carries a specific promise. Flip the ketchup bottle and that promise disappears entirely. The ingredient list contains both high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup, the same dual sweetener listing strategy used by Heinz. The sodium content reaches 170 milligrams per tablespoon, among the highest of any major ketchup brand. The marketing says tomatoes. The ingredient list says corn, twice. The heritage of the Del Monte name is being borrowed to sell a product that contradicts everything that heritage implies. That is a logistical magic trick, and you are the audience. Brand 4, Great Value, Walmart. Great value is positioned as the economical choice, and it is, but cheap does not mean simple. The ingredient list, tomato concentrate, distilled vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, salt, spice, onion powder, natural flavors. Both corn sweeteners present. The bottle claims no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Technically accurate while still delivering both forms of industrial corn sweetener in every squeeze. 1 tablespoon contains 4 grams of sugar, almost entirely from corn derivatives. The bottle is opaque plastic. Tomatoes are naturally acidic, and acid interacts with low-grade plastic over time, especially in heat. You are paying the lowest price on the shelf for a product that is, by formulation, identical to the most expensive brand. The only real difference is the label. Brand 5, Kroger Original Tomato Ketchup. This is the most instructive brand on the skip list because it reveals exactly how the system works. Kroger's ingredient list: tomato concentrate, high fructose corn syrup, distilled vinegar, corn syrup, salt, spice, onion powder, natural flavors. Compare that to Great Value's list. Compare it to Heinz's list. The formulations are virtually identical. Same ingredients, same order, same dual corn sweetener structure. Store brand ketchups are frequently produced by third-party co-manufacturers who supply multiple retailers. The recipe barely changes. The label changes. Consumers believe they are choosing between different products. They are often choosing between the same factory batch in different packaging. The ingredient list does not lie. The brand narrative does. The kitchen test. You do not need a lab. You need 30 seconds and the back of the bottle. Here's the audit you run before you buy another bottle of ketchup. First, the label flip test. Ingredient lists are ranked by weight from most to least. If the first ingredient is tomato concentrate, that is paste diluted with water, not whole tomatoes. If it reads whole tomatoes or crushed tomatoes as the first ingredient, that is a fundamentally different product. Second, the sweetener count test. If you see both high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup on the same label, add them together mentally. That combined volume almost certainly makes corn-derived sweeteners the second or third heaviest ingredient in the bottle. You are buying a corn syrup delivery system with tomato flavoring. Third, the ingredient count test. Real ketchup, the kind made with actual food, has 6 ingredients or fewer. Tomatoes, vinegar, sweetener, salt, spices. That is it. If your bottle lists 8 or more ingredients, it is an engineered product. Every additional ingredient is either a cost-cutting measure, a preservation strategy, or a flavoring agent compensating for the quality that was removed upstream. Count the ingredients. The number tells the story. The real list. Brand 1, Primal Kitchen Organic Unsweetened Ketchup. This is the most radical product on the real list because it eliminates the sweetener entirely. No cane sugar, no high fructose corn syrup, no honey, no dates, no maple syrup. The ingredient list: organic tomato concentrate, organic white balsamic vinegar, sea salt, organic garlic powder, organic onion powder, organic spices. 6 ingredients, all certified organic. The tomato does the work. The balsamic vinegar, made from organic white wine vinegar and grape must, adds complexity that cheap distilled corn vinegar simply cannot replicate. Sodium drops to 60 milligrams per tablespoon compared to 180 in Heinz. It is Whole30 approved, keto certified, and certified paleo. Primal Kitchen was founded in 2015 by Mark Sisson on a single principle: Real foods should not require a chemistry degree to decode. The ingredient list on this bottle is the proof. Brand 2, Annie's Organic Ketchup. Annie's is the everyday crossover pick. The brand that gets you from industrial ketchup to real ketchup without a lifestyle overhaul. It is certified USDA organic, which means high fructose corn syrup is legally prohibited. It is sweetened with cane sugar, non-GMO verified, and widely available at mainstream grocers. Here's the value argument. Annie's Organic Ketchup is frequently priced at the same level as simply Heinz, the premium version of the Heinz lineup that just swaps back to cane sugar. For the same money, Annie's gives you full organic certification, clean sourcing, and no corn derivatives whatsoever. You are not paying more for better ketchup. You are getting better ketchup for the same price. That is the consumer win. Brand 3, 365 by Whole Foods Market Organic Ketchup. This is the budget pick on the real list, and that matters. 365 is the Whole Food store brand, and it delivers certified organic ketchup. Cane sugar only, no HFCS, no artificial flavors, at a price that undercuts most specialty brands. It is not exciting. It does not have a heritage story or a founder narrative. What it has is an organic certification, a clean ingredient list, and a price point that makes switching from industrial ketchup a financially reasonable decision for most households. If you are feeding a family and want real ketchup without a specialty price tag, this is the most practical answer on the shelf. Brand 4, Muir Glen Organic Ketchup. Muir Glen built its reputation on one thing: sourcing and canning quality tomatoes. Since 1991, the company has worked directly with organic tomato farmers in California's Central Valley, and that commitment carries directly into the ketchup. No high fructose corn syrup, no added sugar of any kind. Certified organic. The tomato flavor is noticeably more forward than any corn sweetened brand, because when you remove the engineered sweetness, you can actually taste what the tomato is doing. One honest caveat: sodium reaches 240 milligrams per tablespoon, higher than other clean brands on this list. Read the label. But the ingredient story is clean, the sourcing is transparent, and the tomato is the star, which is exactly what ketchup was always supposed to be. Your condiment drawer is a marketing battlefield. Every squeeze of industrial ketchup is a vote for a system that takes real tomatoes, reduces them to paste, reconstitutes them with water, sweetens them with corn derivatives, and charges you a premium for the privilege of not knowing the difference. The rule is simple: 6 ingredients or fewer. Organic certification, if you can access it. No dual corn sweetener listing. The bottle tells you everything. The brand tells you what they want you to believe. Those are two different things, and now you know which one to read. The food label tells the truth because you have the right to know what you are eating. Subscribe for more.